We have a shocking New York Jets quarterback update to go over, as an insider has revealed a new target for the Jets in regards to their future at the quarterback position and looking at veteran options for the following seasons alongside younger options as well, with multiple veteran quarterbacks being available for the Jets. While they will have a high pick in the draft, they are going to have to make a serious decision with that top draft pick if they are ultimately going to decide to draft a quarterback or not. But either way, the Jets will likely look for a veteran option as well. That is what many teams tend to do regardless. So there is a veteran QB out there who can sort of be there for that rookie to lean on and also be there in case that rookie proves to not be ready to start game one of their NFL career. We're going to go over all of that, discussing these players and also discussing the real odds of the Jets ultimately bringing in a veteran who is going to be a projected starter next year, while they also do look at Fernando Mendoza and the rest of the young quarterbacks as well. But guys, before we jump into everything, if you're part of that 71% that's not subscribed to Jets Digest, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss a single New York Jets update. Let's jump into it. Look, as we know, the New York Jets are going to have a very tough decision to make when it comes to the future at the quarterback position. Obviously, they're going to look towards rookies in some scale, whether it's in 2026 or 2027. The general expectation is that it'll be 2026, though. So, with that in mind, obviously the Jets are ultimately going to have to decide who they're going to draft, if they're going to be willing to trade up to try to get Fernando Mendoza at number one, while other teams will also likely look to trade up if right now things stand where they are and the Tennessee Titans do get the first overall pick, because they're probably not trading Cam Ward to start over, and if they do, then there's going to be a whole plethora of suitors for Cam Ward, but that's not the point. The point is, the Jets will also look at veteran options. We know this about them. We know the Jets are going to look towards veterans, who they can rely on, who the coaching staff can rely on, and who they see as actual talented QBs as well. There's not a whole lot of quarterbacks who are going to be available in that reign as well. There's really just one who's not expected to go to the Jets, but there has been a ton of talk about multiple different guys, and Mac Jones has quickly become the top guy who fans are looking at, and rightfully so. Jones has appeared in 9 games for the San Francisco 49ers this season, going 5-3, passing for 2,151 yards, 13 touchdowns, and 6 interceptions. And Rich Cimini did discuss Mac Jones as a real QB option, saying Kyler Murray, Kirk Cousins, and Mac Jones are the names to watch. Joe Burrow has been discussed on talk shows and such, but that seems like a pipe dream. Jones, who has resurrected his career in Kyle Shanahan's quarterback-friendly offense, is the most intriguing option. As Brock Purdy's injury replacement, Jones is 5-3 at the 49ers. Maybe he'd fit for 1 or 2 years, allowing the Jets to wait until 2027 to draft their long-term solution. Now, on top of that, Cimini also did mention that in that sense, Jones would be like Justin Fields. Jones would also be the third Jets quarterback from the 2021 first round, joining Zach Wilson and Justin Fields. Kirk Cousins, who has replaced injured Atlanta Falcons Michael Penix Jr., will have the opportunity to improve his value too. In 2018, the Jets made an unsuccessful free agent bid for Cousins, which might have chafed some feelings in the organization. However, obviously, outside of Woody Johnson, everyone else there is gone by now. I mean, it's not the same front office at all. Obviously, a different coach as well. So that's something that we don't really have to be worried about. And if we are, that's really weird. I know Woody Johnson's a nut, but at the same time, I don't expect Woody Johnson to really hold that grudge that Kirk Cousins didn't sign there. Also, Kirk Cousins is 97 years old. So even if the Jets do ultimately sign him, they're not going to sign him and say, oh, well, here's our starting quarterback. They likely wouldn't even look at him as a bridge option. I also do expect the Jets to look at Joe Flacco as well, if Flacco decides to just keep getting paid to just be an excellent veteran around teams, who's also just weirdly great for a 40-year-old, which has been excellent to see because Joe Flacco rocks. Obviously, he was with the Jets as well already before. Would he be willing to come back? That's a big question mark. But when we just look at Mac Jones' career, the guy who feels like the most serious option out of these guys, we do see the man was great with the Patriots for a bit. Like, he had success there. He was a Pro Bowler. He was an All-Pro in his rookie year. He went 10-7 as the Patriots starting quarterback as a true rookie, and then things just kind of fell off. He got worse as time went on, and he still did have a decent second year, but not the jump that everyone expected, and everyone said it was a sophomore slump, but it wasn't. In 2023, the Patriots, just with Jones, got exposed. The team started getting worse. The coaching staff wasn't great, and then he ended up in Jacksonville for a year, where he did replace Trevor Lawrence, who dealt with some injuries, and now he's with the 49ers, and he's resurrected his career, had his best year since he was a rookie, and now looks like a serious option for teams that do want to add on some form of a quarterback next year, whether he's going to be starting or not. And the 49ers will definitely look in some sense to try to move on from him. And Reddit has taken, Patriots Reddit a few years ago had taken to what went wrong with Mac Jones, because that's the thing. What if this is a systematic fit and he won't fit with the Jets? And this Reddit post basically said that it was widely believed Mac Jones had a great rookie year and that basically the Judge Patricia year is what broke him down. However, it was a specific game that this Redditor highlighted where Mac Jones was at quarterback going 9-4, and they were atop the AFC, and all was right in the world, as they said, as Mac Jones was doing very well. However, after that, things changed as he went 1-4, including a blowout loss in the playoffs, and his stats got worse. So what happened in that year? Basically, effectively, Mac Jones was being forced to throw over the top, and it wasn't working. As this Redditor says, I remember vividly watching that game, and the announcers were showing that for the first time. A defense that was disrespecting the deep ball of Mac Jones. They barely had any help over the top, and the Colts just brought pressure and clouded up the middle of the field. They knew Mac couldn't punish them from over the top and couldn't make those deeper outside throws as well at a high clip. And the fan says, I remember sitting there like, oh my God, they are disrespecting this kid and his arm talent. Don't they remember his throws at Bama? The kid can sling it, but then it never happened, and 3 years later, we've never been able to make teams pay for that tight and short, and basically, Mac Jones fell off, and his arm strength really had limited him, and it wasn't even a full year in the league, and teams would figure out, and he never adjusted. So would Mac Jones be able to even adjust with the Jets in this situation? That's the question. The Jets do run a run-heavy offense, and also they like their quarterbacks to be dual-threat guys. One thing about Mac Jones, he's not at all a dual-threat guy. We're not seeing Mac Jones go out there and start slinging that thing and then also going for huge runs. It's just not what he's going to do. It's not his style of play, and it never will be. So is Mac Jones a good idea? Sure, if he's not going to cost much on the trade market. But if the Niners are saying, no, we want a third-round pick for him or something like that, then absolutely you don't trade for Mac Jones. He hasn't proven that he can fit anywhere else outside of Kyle Shanahan's offense. So if that's the case, why go for him? And just, I know there's no other free agent options, but the Jets are looking for a rookie. I mean, Darren Mougey effectively said as much early on, saying, we're going to build through the draft. So as long as that's the case, it's not like anything major is going to happen. And also, the Jets don't want to pay any money for a quarterback going into the next couple of seasons. Remember, if they do waive Justin Fields, or cut Justin Fields after the season, they'll have to absorb $22 million in dead cap charges. They're still paying off their debt from the ill-fated Rodgers mistake, $35 million in dead cap for 2026, and that would be $57 million for absent quarterbacks. Now, as Bleacher Report talked about Mac Jones, they think he should stay the starter over Brock Purdy. I'm not necessarily saying there's a Brock Purdy trade imminent because this isn't going to happen. But as Bleacher Report said, to be fair, neither quarterback has been 100% healthy this season. Jones dealt with a knee injury while Purdy is dealing with the toe injury and has no timeable for return. This is months ago by now as well, I should mention. This was around 50 days ago. According to the NFL Network's Ian Rappaport, the 49ers and their fans may get an extended look at Jones, which they did. And even if they don't want it, based on what we've seen through 5 weeks, though, Jones has looked like the better quarterback. He's averaged more passing yards per game. He has thrown just 1 interception to Purdy's 4, and has a passer rating that is 13.3 points higher than Purdy's. Most importantly, Jones is undefeated. He just went head-to-head with Matthew Stafford in the Los Angeles Rams and gutted out a victory. He threw for 342 yards and 2 touchdowns while doing it. Again, these numbers are from a little bit ago. Point stands. Some people think Mac Jones is a starter in the NFL. Some people think he's never going to actually get there. Should the Jets really pay for a guy who's super unproven like this? Now, when there's not that much money to spend, obviously with Justin Fields after June 1st, things get a little bit easier, and the Jets are not going to cut him before June 1st, so they could wait for the money and all that to make a lot more sense. But with all this being said, one thing's for sure. Justin Fields is not the Jets quarterback next year. They're going to look to add a veteran. Maybe they do draft for Fernando Mendoza, Ty Simpson. Maybe they do. I wouldn't be shocked. I do expect the Jets to take a quarterback at the end of the day at the top of the draft. It's just a matter of how exactly the rest of this season really falls into place here. But what do you guys want to see happen? Let me know in the comments down below. Like this video, subscribe, turn on post notifications. Have a great day. Go Jets.